What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're taking a look at the all-new 2026 Toyota Rav4. This one is an XLE Premium, finished off in the Meteor Shower. MSRP is right around $36,000 as tested with some distributor options. This one is $39,900. But big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing the all-new Rav4 for today's video. Take a look at their website linked down below. Let's get right into the best-selling USA's SUV. Underneath the hood of the all-new 2026 Toyota Rav4, you're going to find a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter inline four-cylinder. It is equipped with a hybrid system as standard. For front-wheel drive, net horsepower is going to be 226. The engine makes 163 pound-feet of torque. You're also going to find a 14.5-gallon fuel tank. Overall MPG is going to be 47 miles per gallon in the city with 40 out on the highway. And then the curb weight is 3,700 pounds with max towing at 1,700 pounds. The overall length is 181 inches with the wheelbase at 105.9. Width is 73, height is 66.5, and ground clearance is 8.1 inches. Now onto the exterior styling with the all-new 2026 Toyota Rav4. So we have a brand new design inside and out for this super popular SUV. Now for the XLE, a little bit more simple. You have your LED headlight, just a basic bulb for the turn signal, and silver trim where higher trims have LED running lights. You're going to see this gloss black trim piece, this nice new hammerhead shaped grille, and then I really do like this center portion with kind of that cheese grater style. Looks really sporty. Got your forward facing parking sensors, some black trim, and then we also have just some plastic trim down below with openings in the bottom for more airflow. So this is at least the XLE Premium, so we have a little bit of features over a base model, but cool style overall. And then I like on the hood, we're gonna get these really sharp lines and this kind of squared off design as well. Fender arches have a nice angular design to them, and then you're gonna get a nice looking set of 18-inch wheels with a gunmetal gray color. You have more of that plastic black for the fender arches, as well as this lower rocker panel, and I really love the sharp body line in the lower doors that fades up to the rear fender. We still get body colored on the door handles, gloss black mirror caps, integrated turn signal, and then just some black trim all around the windows. Got this nice black trim in back, kind of dividing this roof line, and then we have roof rails and roof racks up above with no sunroof. For the overall side profile, has a really good look, very similar to the last generation Rav4, just a little bit more angled and boxy. And again, this rear fender arch, you can see with the shadows how nice and sharp all of that looks. In back, we have a cool looking set of LED taillights with a nice design connecting one side to the other with this gloss black bar. Got your name written out, XLE logo, hybrid logo as well. Rear bumper just finished off in the black plastic. We have more parking sensors and reflectors, some sharp lines throughout it, and an integrated spoiler up above. So overall, I think they really did a cool job on the styling with the new Rav4. It's a sharp looking SUV. For the key fob, just a basic Toyota key fob as expected. Backside says Rav4, and then we can either keep the car locked or press the unlock button. We can easily take a look at the interior with it automatically unlocking. So this XLE Premium just has a simple black SofTex interior with some light gray accents to it. Now you are going to get harder plastic for the upper door on this trim level, and then more of a basic vinyl for the insert. It is padded and softer. Nice little armrest as well. Large grab handle with storage, all of your controls down here, and then storage down below. We're still going to get power controls up front, and then we have the smooth SofTex with the perforated material. Got just a nice simple design all the way up towards the backrest, and then a clean looking 3-spoke steering wheel finished off in the black leather and plastic trim. And then now inside the 2026 Toyota Rav4 XLE, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. So all the electronics are going to turn on. The engine may or may not roar to life in a second. Got your Toyota badge right in the center. Controls on the left side for the screen. We also have your volume control, voice commands, and then we have some cruise control settings on the right. Got the stock on the right side for all the windshield wipers, stock over on the left for headlights and turn signal. Now for the gauge cluster, it's a nice simple design. We have kind of our power level in the center with some information on the left and right side. I can continue scrolling left and right, and you're going to get a couple different presets popping up. So you'll have navigation that'll pop up here as well, more of a traditional style, and then back to this center look. So nice bit of configurations to it. Down below, we have the interior dimming. We have our tailgate release. Fuel cap is down below. We have some softer touch material right here. This nice metallic gray color. Harder plastic up above on this flat dashboard. And then you're going to see more of that metallic gray, the soft touch, and then all hidden storage right there. You have your air vents integrated nicely, and then this one has the smaller screen, which honestly has all the same information that the larger screen will have. Got our nav setup, you can see audio, a couple other different bits, and then you can customize all of this very nicely. Drive modes are right here. Very easily we can configure that with the touchscreen. We have the full screen nav once set up, of course audio once set up, Bluetooth connectivity, and then all of your basic settings. So overall, it's actually pretty simple. Climate control is integrated into the screen, so we can very easily toggle your different zones. We have temperature that we can quickly change, heated seats as well. You have auto, fan speed, volume, sync, heated seats as well. You can also use these toggles, makes it pretty simple overall. And then we have our defrost icon. For reverse, you got a nice looking backup camera with a HD view. You got some good guidelines, 2 different angles as well. So honestly, pretty simple overall. You're also going to see a drive mode icon down here that you can configure to where you don't always have to go into the screen. So just an easy way to get into all of that. We have our EV mode as well for more slow speed driving. That'll pop up on that lower side of the screen. So good for parking lots basically if you don't want the engine to turn on. You got your air vents, 1 wireless phone charging pad with a lot of hidden storage all in here as well as down here. We have an auto LSD traction control icon. We can turn that on and off. You can see all that information popping up when you do it. And then you're going to see 2 different USB-C ports and then nice cup holders. We have auto hold, park and brake, a nice normal shifter, kind of this metallic satin gray trim, and then a nice size opening in the center. Now this, you can open it from either side. You can also flip it around, and we have a nice storage tray as well. Over on the far right side, you're gonna get a pretty good sized glove box. And then one last look at the interior. It definitely looks a bit utilitarian, but honestly, you have a decent amount of nicer soft touch materials in here. Lighter headliner with just some dome lights and grab handles throughout it. There's gonna be a nice sunglass holder, kind of small, so maybe like reading glasses or something. And then we just have a basic manual mirror. Moving on to the rear seat space now, I can just grab the door handle and open it up. The door panel is finished off like we saw up front. You're gonna have the hard plastic and then all this vinyl material in the center. Got the storage in that grab handle and then the smooth SofTex with it, the perforated. Now this is gonna be able to seat 3 people. You're gonna have the seat in the center that you can pull down, and we have a nice armrest with cup holders. There are USB ports. We also have air vents, storage behind both of these seats, and then the recline lever. You can adjust this a little bit, as you can tell, and it'll also let this fold nice and flat for better cargo space. All right, so hopping into the back seat with the all-new Rav4 XLE. So overall, it actually has a pretty good amount of space. One thing I really like is how large these windows are. It makes the interior feel very open. 5'11", I have a ton of headroom. Driver's seat at my height, I have good enough knee room. My feet are a little underneath the seat, but not bad. And then I wouldn't mind maybe an inch taller back seats. But overall, this is perfectly fine. You have just enough amenities. Armrests are good. Fitting a car seat back here works perfectly fine. The passenger seat is gonna be a little tight with rear facing, but overall for its sizing, it's pretty average on the space you're gonna expect back here. Moving on to the cargo space for the all new Rav4, we are still gonna get a power liftgate on this XLE. So with these seats up, you're gonna get about 37.8 cubic feet of cargo volume. Once you fold them down nice and flat, it bumps it up to around 70 cubic feet of cargo volume. So pretty roomy. You're gonna get a little storage area in this far right side. We have a plug and a light. You have a privacy cover as well. And even though this is a hybrid, underneath the floor, we still have a nice spare tire setup. So again, practical car for people as well as cargo. We have 2 grab handles up above here. This one has the option of that LED light on that trim piece, but overall, pretty practical car. All right, so setting off now in the Toyota Rav4 XLE. So this is the first time driving a production XLE. Of course, we've checked out some pre-production ones with Toyota and then checked out some XSE models. So this one with just the front wheel drive and everything, honestly, I don't really notice any difference as far as normal driving with front wheel drive. You know, this isn't really that fast of a vehicle. So the front wheel drive, honestly, is gonna be pretty fine for your average owner, especially with the MPG, slightly less weight, things like that. So it drives pretty normal. It's pretty comfortable overall going over kind of a bumpy-ish road. You can feel the bumps. I wouldn't say it's a super plush ride. Definitely does feel a little bit of a step down from the XSE model that I've driven before. So you're gonna notice that it's just kind of an average driving vehicle. The seats are a little bit stiffer as well, but I got them in a pretty good position to where I'm still nice and comfortable. Visibility is really good in the Rav4 in general. You're gonna have no complaints seeing around. You have no blind spots or anything like that. And And then armrests are pretty good. Again, a little bit harder, not quite as padded comparing it to the XSE, especially on the door panel. And then this is decently padded, it's all right. So, you know, kind of just a more basic, average style vehicle, I would say. Turning circle is pretty good though, so it's an easy car to maneuver. Of course, with the 360 parking sensors, that really helps quite a lot. Camera is quite nice, and yeah, definitely a nice sharp steering. So with that, in sport mode, so what I like with the eCVT and this hybrid setup, you have instant throttle response given the electronics basically drive the wheels. So as soon as you've kind of floor a little bit, you're already accelerating. You don't have to wait for the engine to turn on, a turbo to spool, or anything like that. It just accelerates. It's not necessarily fast, but it is zippy around town to where it just kind of drives really well. You don't have to wait around for it as far as like average acceleration. If you want a lot more power, there are plug-in hybrids available that really pack a punch. But even this one with the more basic configuration, actually the most basic configuration you can get, you know, it drives really good just to be an around town zippy car. So if you're looking for good MPG, good space, just kind of utilitarian, you know, average small SUV, this really does seem to drive well. The steering feel is still pretty good, even with the front wheel drive version. It's more mechanical than other brands. So I feel like Toyota did a good job making it feel solid. And then the overall just like build quality, it feels really well put together with no loose ends. So I think Toyota did a good job just making this a solid SUV, even if this trim level is a little basic, a little cheaper feeling than the nicer ones. But obviously that's how it goes. You know, higher trim levels are gonna feel nicer, average ones are gonna feel average. So moving on to my honest thoughts with the XLE Premium Toyota Rav4. So again, the XSE is a trim level up. Personally, that's the one I would go with, all-wheel drive, that spec. I just think interior's nicer. It's just a nicer, sportier spec with all the bells and whistles. So this one, XLE Premium, more on the basic side. We are going to get harder, cheaper plastics on the interior, and it does make this feel very utilitarian. It is impressive how a couple extra bits of features and materials make an interior feel light years nicer. So this one does feel a lot more on the basic side, especially with everything kind of being a grayscale in the new Rav4, aside from the nicer trims that have more contrasting colors. This one is very simple and just kind of functional. So this is more for the buyer who's not looking to spend too much. Again, this one with extra options is just under 40 grand, so a decent amount cheaper than the higher trims. But if you get one without the extra options, this is mid-30s, which honestly, in today's world, 35 grand for a brand new, good, reliable SUV that is this roomy, feature-packed, and just nice at the end of the day, I mean, honestly, pricing seems really good on the Rav4s. People do seem to complain a little bit about saying these are too expensive, but the XLE, I believe, is actually cheaper 2026 than it was 2025. And when you factor in the extra technology and things like that, you're getting a better vehicle for less money, technically. Not every trim level is like that, but you're gonna see really good pricing, I would say, for the Rav4. Nothing that I think you should complain about, because I think, honestly, they have a really good spectrum of Rav4s to fit everyone's budget. So driving this, it does feel a little bit harsher than the XSE. So it's a little bit, again, more basic feeling, but it drives nice enough. It handles well, it steers good, it's roomy, you have all the storage. And honestly, I like the smaller screen. I do wish you could just get the smaller screen from the get-go, just because there's nothing really in the screen that you need the larger design. It looks great with this configuration. And of course, I just pretty much rock CarPlay all the time anyways. So this one's still well equipped, and honestly, I'm enjoying just kind of cruising around. This is just a good point A to point B car with the space. It's got the MPG, it's got the reliability, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't break the bank depending on how you spec it. So, I don't know, I think if you're looking for just utilitarian, a nice SUV that is simple, the new Rav4 is something to go for, especially in this trim level. You can get the GR Sport, you can get the crazy XSEs, of course, and you can also even get base models like an LE, which are fabric, super basic. Haven't checked one out yet. Hopefully we can drive one soon. But I don't know, the XLE Premium kind of hits all the checkpoints for the person who just wants enough features without being crazy and doesn't care about a little bit extra nice interior. So this one is kind of good enough for an average buyer and seems to pack quite a lot. So that is it then for the all-new 2026 Rav4 XLE Premium. cool to see what Toyota has done for the new RAV4 on the more budget-friendly price point trim level. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and a big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing the all-new RAV4 for today's video. Check out the link to their website linked below, and I'll see you all in the next video.